Swift as a wind song, you sang the music of an honest bird. I waited for some contradiction, but truth was ringing in your every word. And every moment since then,
she makes me laugh. Like I said earlier, I still think she's beautiful. I realized that God gave her to me as a gift, and it's just a gift that I cherish from God. Like, it's something that God has given to me to take care of and to grow with and to help me grow. And those are just a few reasons why I like God.
I love him. Tommy is just the sweetest person, and it wasn't until maybe about a year into our relationship that I just got this crazy epiphany of, wow, he's so nice. He's just a nice person. Tommy is just the most honest person I think I've ever met in my entire life, and he knows how to speak truth, and I need that. So Tommy just knows how to provide the right thing at the right time. He's very in tune with the Holy Spirit. I think he's very mature in his relationship with Christ, and that is something that is an encouragement to me, a necessity, I think, to our marriage. And I think in addition to that, he just brings a sense of mellow, a sense of just chill and calm attitude to any atmosphere. You know, he knows how to kind of calm things down when I'm in a...
Swift as a wind song, you sang the music of an honest bird. I waited for some contradiction, but truth was ringing in your every word. And every moment since then, the one thing I can tell.
Give you guys a little insight into the way that our relationship started, and obviously, you know, everyone's, like you guys said, your perception is your reality. I was actually the person who I approached Tommy and just introducing myself. You know, hey, I thought he looked familiar, which I did. I had, it wasn't a lie. I had to like get a disclaimer because he thought I was lying. Like, seriously, he thought I was lying. He was like, yeah, I don't know you. I've never seen you before. But anyways, you know, I did introduce myself to him. I thought he looked familiar, and I just, you know, said hello. Turns out, you know, we were attending the same church, and so that was that. I left it at that. Like, that was all I said. And then he did take the lead from there, and he, you know, sent me a message on Facebook, and
hey, we're a social media couple.
Yeah, so we, you know, he friended me on Facebook, and we talked on Facebook for a little bit. Then we were instant messenger friends. So we IM'd for like a couple weeks, and then he finally asked me out on an actual date. But even like the whole concept of like, he never, cause at this time, you know, between Facebook and IM, you don't have to have somebody's telephone number. It's all, you know, email kind of communication. So we had not really talked on the phone. And so that process in and of itself, again, how many ladies are out there like, well, you need to ask me for my number, like, I'm not going to give you my number. There's that back and forth. You know, it's a choice that you make, whether you're going to wait for him to ask you for your number, or if you really want to talk to him, you might give him your number. In the case of our situation, I pretty much kind of tried to have him ask me for the number, but he wasn't asking. Long story short, his battery was dying on his phone, which he was using to IM me, and I said, oh, well, you can just call me tomorrow. And he's like, well, how am I going to do that? I don't have your number. So I was like, yeah. So then it was like, you know, balls back in their court. And I'm just like, I guess I'm going to give you my number. Here's my number, so you can call me. But anyways, that was our story.
And
but
I mean, that was our story, and it wasn't like I was like, I'm not talking, because there was one quote. I mean, when we were talking about men in the church as well, and the transition from men in the streets to men in the church, and the way that they, the way that they move from pursuing, like, I mean, you guys can walk down, what is this, 14th Street. You guys are gonna get talked to.
You're gonna get pursued a lot, right?
Yeah, a whole lot, and it's not gonna be an attractive pursuit.
Hunt.
Yeah, hunt, like get tracked down, like. But then you go to the church and everything was like this. It wasn't like Armo wasn't really there, but if she didn't come and just say hello, you look familiar, I probably wouldn't have today. And then, I mean, I was interested in approaching her. We did become Facebook friends, and then I moved to instant message friends. But if she didn't ask for me to call her sometime, then we'd probably still be texting. We'd probably be on Twitter.
Yeah. At least Twitter. Fine, I'll shoot you a video request.
Exactly.
Anyway, you can learn another person's love language, just as you can learn Spanish and English and all these other languages. You can learn how to love. And the good thing about it is when you really have good examples of what that love looks like. So for example, yes, initially when Tommy and I started dating, words of affirmation is my love language. So Ricky, shout out to you because you made me feel so loved last week. And you told me how cute I was at church, girl. I'm just keeping it real. Words of affirmation is my love language, and quality time is Tommy's love language. So when we first started dating, our conversations were very short. And I was like, oh my gosh. I really, honestly, seriously, guys, that was going to be a deal breaker for us. We had a conversation. I remember thinking to myself, I don't know if I can really marry this guy because he doesn't ever talk. He's talkative with you all, but in reality, and at that, we talk a lot. We do. He's come a very long way. But so that was going to be a deal breaker for us, or for me. We had a conversation about it, and things started changing, and I also had to realize, okay, I am talkative, and he's not as talkative, so I can't expect him to be exactly the way that I am. We are different. I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I don't think I can marry this guy because our house is going to be so boring, it's going to be so quiet, our kids are going to be bored because we're never going to talk. I was going all in, seriously.
But at the same time, this is what attracted her to me because she talks a lot.
Right, I was like, oh, he's so laid back, he listens to everything.
And then 3 months later, and she switched.
It's like, why are you not talking? So, it can be learned, and especially from someone who likes to talk and someone who likes quality time, which sometimes doesn't involve any talking at all, it can be very boring. Things can be like, oh my God, we're not talking about anything. What are we doing? Where are we going? No, we're just going to hang out. Okay, what does that mean? So, we had to learn that. So, to your point, Miranda, it can be learned if you want to learn. And I'm going to touch on this quick question here.
Swift as a wind song, you sang the music of an honest bird. I waited for some contradiction, but truth was ringing in your every word. And